Welcome to day 5 of Glow Up Week, and congratulations for making it to day 5. So, if you haven't caught all 5 days, there's a playlist on YouTube. Make sure that you find it and watch all 5 days to get the full effect of what I'm teaching today. And today, what I'm teaching you is how to do the impossible. How to do the impossible. I know that sounds kind of crazy because most people say, it's impossible, I can't do it. But I'm going to teach you a process that I learned in 2018 from my mentor that has totally blown my mind and changed my entire life. And I'm not exaggerating. And that is that impossible is only because we think it's impossible. And if you break it down, the word is I'm possible. I'm possible. It is possible, but you've been telling yourself that it's not for so long that you start to believe it, or other people are telling you that what you really want for your life is impossible and you don't go for it. And that's really the biggest piece is, are you willing to go after your dreams and your desires? Because if you don't, it's never going to happen. And so, an example of some things that I've done and my clients have done that are deemed to be impossible is I have a client, and I talk about her quite a bit, but it blew my mind and hers. I have a client that made $8,000 in 18 days in her new coaching business, and she's not certified. She was laid off her job and decided that she was going to start coaching women that were similar to her, divorced single moms who were out there dating. $8,000 in 18 days. Wouldn't you like to do that? I have another client who, in 3 months, she over the years she had been wanting to relocate, but there were all kind of reasons why she didn't, and then she couldn't decide, was she going to move to France or Hawaii, which are totally different ends of the world. But I told her, it's time for you to decide. It's time. It's time for you to stop saying I don't know. And she decided to move to Hawaii, and in 3 months was living there. She made all the arrangements, sold her house, shipped her cars, her dog, everything in 3 months. Imagine changing your entire life in 3 months. You can do that, but you've got to get unrealistic. Stop being so realistic. Being realistic is what kept me stuck for so many years. Every time I wanted to do something that cost money outside of the necessities, I would say, I can't justify that. I can't justify that, which meant I felt like I couldn't justify spending that money because I needed to put it into my 401k so that I would have enough to retire. That was just a thought. That was just a belief that was keeping me stuck. And that's what's happening with you. You have certain beliefs that you have been stuck in for your entire life, which we talked about, I think it was on day 3, that's running the show. Well, now I'm going to teach you how to step outside of the box, change your whole paradigm, and create what you really want that is unrealistic, that is impossible, because it really is possible. So, the first thing we're going to look at is, what result do you want? What do you desire? I want you to take out a piece of paper and just close your eyes and dream about the things that you really desire. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to spend time with? How much money do you want to make? How do you want to make your money? This week I've been talking about making money based on what you already know, based on what experience you already have. And if you want me to help you do that, at the end of this video, just check in the description. I have a link where you can schedule a call with me. You got to get help. You got to get outside of your own brain, outside of your own thoughts. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. So start journaling. What are you telling yourself is impossible that your friends or family or someone is saying, you can't do that. That's impossible. But it really isn't impossible. That's their thoughts and your current thoughts. So what do you want your thought to be? If there is a desire you want, the thought, you've got to come up with thoughts that help you work towards this desire. So, one thought I'm going to tell you not to have and not to think, and if you're thinking it, to let it go is I don't know how, because that's the thought that most people have. I don't know how. That thought is not going to get you to the result you desire. And just so you know, your thought always equals your result. There's a correlation there. Whatever you're thinking is what you're creating. And I came up with a list of a couple of thoughts that will move you forward so that you can work towards this desire, the impossible. And the first one is I already know enough to begin. So I just spoke to you about I don't know how to do it, but you already know enough to begin. The next one is the version of me I'm becoming deserves this. They deserve to have it. You deserve to have what you desire. The version of you already has it. So you could say the version of me, there's a version of me that already has what I desire. And another one, I don't need a job, I need a strategy. So if you're someone that's telling themselves you have to have a job, you don't have to have a job. You believe you have to have a job, but you really don't. Another one is reinvention is the decision I'm making today. I am deciding today to reinvent my life. If you make that powerful decision and you have that thought, what is the reinvention? The reinvention is the desire. The thought is I'm making the decision to reinvent my life, or I am reinventing my life starting today. When you do that and when you make those statements, they move you forward and they create a vibration in your body, a feeling. So I want you to come up with feeling words. You can look up feeling charts and look up the words. You might be excited about the possibility of reinventing your life. So if you're thinking that I am reinventing my life, the result you want is, say, to quit your job. That's just an example. Quit your job. I'm excited about reinventing my life and I feel excited. Then you are going to take actions that move you towards reinventing your life, quitting your job, and having what you want. And the biggest thing here when it comes to actions is I want you to make a list of 25 actions 25 actions that you are going to take. And this is the other thing. You've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to fail and hear no over and over and over again on the journey to doing the impossible. You've got to be willing to fail over and over. And when you go to make this list of 25 actions you're going to take, your brain is going to want to shut down. That's called resistance. The resistance is natural, it will come up. This will feel hard, but you can't change your life without doing hard things. So, one of the thoughts you could even take on is I can do hard things, I can do the impossible. Because it's true, you can. You've already done hard things. You just felt kind of like you had um, no say in it, like you had to do them. They were showing up, and you did them because you had to. And one of my desires when I first went on this personal development journey in a really serious way was to figure out why when something bad happens to me, that I would always figure it out. Or when I was under the gun, I would always figure it out. So I want you to think about times when something happened that was not very positive, where you had a deadline, where you had to figure it out. You figured it out. It's the same with this. I want you to have that same energy that you can figure it out, that you're going to figure it out, and it's going to happen. That's what is required. If you want to do anything, it requires you changing who you are. Who are you being? And when I say who you're being, what thoughts and feelings are driving you every day? That's who you are being. So that's what I got for you today. Thank you for being on this journey. I really, really want you to give yourself a pat on the back for doing this work. Everybody does not do this work. In fact, this is the work we should have been taught in elementary school, in middle school, in high school. Can you imagine how different your life would be if you were told that you can do the impossible? It makes me think of Superman or Wonder Woman. It's like they're out there changing to their alter ego and doing amazing things that the everyday person thinks they can't do, but you can do it. And if you really are struggling with this, start looking for evidence. I'm evidence, and I'm not the only one out there doing this work or doing the impossible. There are people out there every day that are changing their lives. The only difference between you and them is that you just didn't know how. You didn't know what to do. And so now you know how. Now you know where to come to get support. And really, I'm doing something special this month only, where I'm doing 1 hour, one off sessions. Normally, my coaching is 3 to 6 months at a time. I had a client last year that worked with me an entire year, and you could only imagine how much progress she made in a year. But you can't just do this by yourself in your own little bubble. You need someone to witness your brain, and I'm the one to help you. And this is the process. This is where the process begins. So, this is the end of Glow Up Week, but this is not the end of me teaching you how to change your life, how to reinvent your life, and how to make money doing what you already know. So, make sure that you are subscribed to the Old Black Lady Chronicles on Substack, and that you also subscribe to this YouTube channel and keep this journey going.